Good morning, Robert Scribbler filming north and east for the OBX wave report here at Jeanette's Pier. As some 2 to 3 foot waves roll in off the North Atlantic Ocean, a little bit smaller than yesterday, a little bit more placid and calm, but we still got a number of surfers out in the water. About it's like 7 on the south side, 1 on the north side, and still some rideable waves to be had, if a bit smaller. A reminder, I'm up here on the top of the pier, so the wave size is going to look smaller from my vantage point. We are tracking a number of systems that might affect the waves, the most immediate of which is a low pressure system in the Gulf of Mexico, which is forming into a gale. There was some chance that it might develop into a tropical cyclone, but that did not occur. And if you look to the south and east here, you can see the clouds associated with that frontal system. That gale is going to lash the Gulf Coast states over the next couple of days, and then by this weekend transition out into the Atlantic Ocean, which might result in some waves for us in the Outer Banks. So we're gonna have to monitor that system. And then far offshore in the eastern central tropical Atlantic, we've got Tropical Storm Sean, which is well down the pipe, may not even make it to the Outer Banks, but something to watch, with the potential to bring us some decent surf conditions if it does track this way. And so we'll just have to see. Hopefully somebody will catch one of these waves. Oh, there we go. A little jockeying for position there, and a decent little right hand turn. We got another wave forming up on the north side. Hopefully this guy will catch it. Go, go, go. All right, and a little left there. So yeah, not as fast and critical as yesterday, which is a real shame. Had a really wonderful ride yesterday. Got the speed turned on the rocket with the quad, and about 150 yard ride on the right there on the north side. So, but in any case, let's get down to some of the official observations provided by buoys, wave monitors, and wave model reports. And right now, for Nags Head, we've got 2 foot waves and clean conditions according to the wave monitors. Northeast swell at 1.6 foot and 12 seconds. West winds at 14. Feels actually a bit calmer. Air temperatures 69 degrees Fahrenheit. Ocean water temperatures 71 degrees. And we're looking at a low tide coming up at 12:05 p.m. So right now we're on the outgoing tide. We might get some better waves with the incoming tide, so we'll have to see. To our north at Virginia Beach, we got 1 foot plus waves and semi-clean conditions. And down in Rodanthe, we got 2 to 3 foot waves and clean conditions with an east-northeast swell at 1.5 foot and 12 seconds. West winds at 13. Air temperature 67. Ocean water temperatures 70. Low tide at Rodanthe 12:37. So once again, with the incoming tide, after low tide, we might get some better wave conditions. Buxton 2 foot and clean. East-northeast swell at 1.7 foot and 12 seconds. Winds out of the west at 14 miles per hour. Air temperatures 70 degrees. Ocean water temperatures 71 degrees. And the low tide at 12:01 p.m. And last of all, at Frisco, we got 2 foot waves and some chop. Once again, our National Hurricane Center and our storm experts, weather experts at the National Weather Service, are monitoring a number of systems that may affect the Outer Banks, both with waves and weather. And right now, we did mention the storm in the Gulf. It is non-tropical, expected to lash the Gulf states with gale force winds and rain before moving off the southeast coast and possibly providing us with a bit of a swell, as it is expected to strengthen offshore. We've got a tropical storm Sean, which has formed in the central tropical Atlantic and the east central tropical Atlantic, with maximum sustained winds of 40 miles per hour. And that is expected to track toward the west-northwest. The long-range forecast for this system is for it eventually to get chopped up by some wind shear, so we'll just have to see how things go for Sean. And last of all, we've got a disturbance off the coast of Africa, new tropical wave that is moving off Africa with a 30% chance of developing into a tropical cyclone. All right, so that will conclude our wave report for today. I hope you guys do get, oh, here we go. Hope you guys do get out into the water and enjoy some good waves. There are still some decent waves to be had, as you can see, some rideable ones at the very least, but not super critical, super fast, or super amazing. But and as I always do, I'd like to ask you guys to please do everything you can to help speed the transition to clean energy and thereby defend our coastlines from the impacts of climate change driven by fossil fuel burning. The mass deployable forms of clean energy presently being wind, water, solar, and electric vehicles, along with the electrification that helps to enable the clean energy systems. We also got, with those clean energy systems, we also have the ability increasingly to produce green hydrogen, as long as the electrolyzers are powered by wind and solar. And we've got some other follow-on systems that might be mass deployable, such as geothermal and wave energy, but right now the least expensive, most easily deployed forms of clean energy are wind, water, and solar. And also there is a possibility that fusion energy might provide us with some help down the road, but we don't really need to be waiting for that right now, considering that the threats of climate crisis right now are ongoing and happening now and worsening. And the threats to our coastlines driven by fossil fuel burnings primarily are rising sea levels, more intense storms, ocean heat waves, which hurt the health of our ocean life, which we rely on for so much, and ocean acidification, which also harms our ocean life and our coral reefs. So thank you for joining me for this session of the OBX Wave Report, and hope you guys get out there and enjoy some great waves.